Hey, welcome back. Today's video is all about top six headless CMS picks for fashion brands. And if you're new here, I'm Bishan Parna, and this channel is all about headless CMS, composable commerce, brand, tech stacks, strategies, and many more things. So let's quickly begin the video. Who this video is for, and if you're running a fashion e-commerce brand, managing digital at a DTC label, or say any kind of creative lead at a growing fashion house, or your team is hitting the limits of WooCommerce, Shopify themes, or any rigid CMS platforms, this video is for you. If you are already if you've already started exploring the headless CMS space, you would know that you can gain a lot of control, flexibility, and performance. Or maybe even if you're a consultant helping lifestyle fashion brands evolve digital presence, then this video is for you. Now, what is the challenge? When you start searching for best headless CMS for fashion brands, right? You hit that same wall. Like, it's more like a lot of SEO stuff, blogs, paid sponsorships, fake product comparisons, and that's what we see. What we don't see is the real insights. It probably is buried under white papers or hidden behind, a lot of demo calls. So here are the biggest issues that fashion brand sales sees. Sorry, which a lot of you might relate to. Like, for example, migration anxiety, right? Like, most brands are on, say, WooCommerce or Shopify, and obviously switching to a headless CMS raises the questions like, will my product page break? Or let's say, what will happen to the SEO? Can I keep the same URLs in the content structure? So these are things that are normally in the headspace of the client. Now, a follow up would also be like, say, about the cost and ROI. Like, headless setups aren't cheap at all, right? And for a fashion brand, ROI has to be clear. Where, like, will it improve the conversions? Or will my teams perform faster? And how is the whole thing going to be? Like, when I'm talking about team performing faster, that brings me another idea of other point about speed of execution. Fashion moves really fast. Drops, promos, collabs. You need to launch campaigns in days, not weeks. If marketing teams can't create pages without waiting on devs, it's not going to work, right? So we covered pretty much all of these and a lot more. So this video, it cuts through the fluff, gives you straightforward breakdown of which headless CMS options are to choose from in 2025. We'll go over cost, pros, cons, performance, use cases, and how to pick the right one based on your stack, team structure, and content style. Uh, why should you listen to me? I think I have repeated time and again in all the videos. I'll probably do that here as well. I've built an agency called AV Frame Tech, and at Frame Tech, I lead a specialized team that focus solely on headless commerce, especially for fashion, lifestyle, and enterprise brands. We have delivered CMS platforms for billion-dollar companies like Abax. We have handled it for enterprise grade clients across the globe with different industries. So that includes the likes of fashion, beauty, and DTC retail as well. Through Upwork, we constantly ranked on the top rated developers, both me as well as the team, which I can walk you through here. But yeah, obviously, these are some testimonials of the client, and these are the clients that I spoke about. And when it comes to like what we worked on like over 10 plus headless CMS platforms and more than eight enterprise e-commerce stacks. Most teams settle into one or two tools. We have pressure tested combinations across fast moving consumer categories, regulated industries and brands with complex, visual storytelling as well. So whether you're building a sleek B2C storefront, a multi-brand platform, or a hybrid B2B, B2C solutions, we have done it all. We understand the nuances of editorial control, the speed, the design, the flexibility that you need. So yeah, that's like a quick introduction about what we have done and what you will do, and what we can bring to the table as well. So in this video, right, when we look at this video, what you would learn. So that's one of the most important things you would also want to understand as to what am I supposed to learn. So here you'll understand the top headless CMSs for fashion brands in 2025, when to choose a developer first platform, how different CMSs handle multi-brand catalogs, localizations, visual storytelling, cost breakdowns, red flags, what to avoid when, what CMSs gives your marketing team a true freedom to work without having any dev bottlenecks. So let's straight jump into the blog. I mean, this blog is on our website, company website, and you can have a look at this. But let's just directly jump into the CMSs that has been used by us as a company. But I wouldn't say that this is the only CMS that you could use. You can obviously use different things, but this is something that we have been using time and again with clients and has worked wonderful for us. So the likes of Sanity, Builder.io, Directus, Strapi, Payload, Contentful, these are like the six CMSs that we have used for clients. And I'll come to the reason as to why these are used and when these come in handy. So, but before that, well, let's understand why it is important to understand when to make a move to a headless architecture for fashion e-commerce. you know let's do this with an example, right? Let's consider an example of a fast growing fashion e-commerce brand with say 2 million monthly visitors, 20 million API calls, and 10 users, and a role management content, right? Obviously. So when you look at this, right, it's quintessential to understand that every CMS works with a different purpose. And that's exactly why we have that column called best for. Like when you look at the pricing, right, Directus is significantly lesser in terms of pricing. So is Strapi, I reckon, and so is Payload. But if you look at Contentful, it's on a higher range, obviously because of this enterprise grade CMS and the kind of integrations that it has. And while Builder.io comes in with a no-code visual editing for rapid fashion changes, so obviously it has its own advantages like A/B testing, drag and drop, which makes lives easier for your teams. So Sanity has real-time collaboration, e-commerce scaling. So obviously there are multiple points why you choose these CMSs, but on an overall range, these are the approximate annual costs for the example of a fast-growing e-commerce brand with 2 million visitors, 20 million API calls, and 10 users role and management. Now, what are the key consideration when you choose a CMS? Like, it is so important to understand what to choose and when to choose, and I think um, these are the things that normally our clients have emphasized on. Say, for example, a visual content. It should bring high resolution images, video, interactive pages, omnichannel support, probably ensuring consistent content across web, mobile, social, integration, flexibility. TCO is one of the major points. Like, think about the dev cost, content creation, maintenance, obviously factoring in a lot of things. So these are the things that you have to look at before you choose a CMS for your fashion e-commerce. So now let's understand what is the ideal fashion headless CMS for you. Now, how do you choose it, right? Like, for example, let me break this down very simply. Like, if your team isn't technical and wants a very easy tool, you should go with Builder.io, Sanity, or Contentful because it makes your lives easier. Now, if your team is technical and wants control, and you are always like, I have an in-house dev team who can take care of everything, then you can probably choose Strapi, Directus, or Payload because obviously it comes with a lot of customization, a lot of flexibility, and I think when you have a dev team inside, it is easy for you to work with these CMSs. So if you're somewhere in between, say for example, you need a balance as well. Obviously, you can use again Strapi and Directus, but if you are a large brand with global needs, a lot of customization, a lot of this thing, and you probably should use Contentful firstly. You can also use Directus. So and in a way, right, like if you already have a database, if your content is already stored in a database, Directus is a great option. It connects directly, adds a clean user interface, um, keeps a lot of things simple and secure. Now let's understand a few more things, right? Like big platforms versus fashion focused tool, right? Like big platforms, say for example a Sanity or a Builder.io, Contentful, it's big, obviously. I mean, easy to use, great for marketers, but cost can go really up, can be really high with the increase in traffic. Now, when you look at Strapi and Directors, we believe that these are fashion focused. It gives you more control to the developers, better for managing a lot of products, a lot of variants, a lot of brands, and it's very cost effective in a way. Now, in another way, right, in a nutshell, if you look at agencies, right, there are a lot of agencies who are collaborated with different CMSs. So obviously, they would push for one of those CMSs, right? Um, so some agencies push for certain core tools for the benefit, but you will have to question yourself as to can your team update the content without a developer, because most of the fashion brands do not have an internal tech team, right? Can you launch campaign for a new product easily? That's another question. The third question could be like, does it connect with tools, with with e-commerce tools, other e-commerce tools as well, like say Shopify or Commerce Layer or whatever it is. So all of these questions are quintessential before you jump into what you want. Now, another things that you also have to look at is like, what are the other fashion brands using? I mean, this is easy to get, because if you check G2, Capita, or Reddit, right, a lot of these things, a lot of these informations are available. Look for feedback from brand, from everybody. Like, it's very important you understand the feedbacks and what tools they use, what are the fashion brands you are using right now as well. Uh, the last point, no, not last point, the last couple of points involve about open source versus paid platforms. So obviously, open source gives you like more control, lower cost, but obviously needs developer support. While paid platforms, say for example, like Sanity Builder or Contentful, these are easier to use and obviously easier for non-tech teams, fast to launch, and higher cost as you grow. So that's another thing. What to look for in the right CMSs? Will it grow with you? Can it do what you need? Is it affordable in long term? I think these are the questions that not us but our clients have asked, and I think it's not one client. It's predominantly around 90% of the clients have asked this question. So obviously these are the questions that you have to ask yourself as well. Now, critical factors you should understand when selecting a fashion brand. Sorry, fashion headless CMS platform. Now, this is again very important, but I'm going to give you like a broader picture. Like, say, for example, what are the important factors? These There might be a lot more factors, but I'm just taking into consideration the six critical factors that we have seen. One is visual content support. Fashion is visual, so your CMS must support high quality images, videos, 360-degree product views, interactive lookbooks, whatever it is. So, can I easily show my latest collection in a visually stunning way? That's one of the important things to look for. The second thing is about omni-channel capabilities. Your customer is everywhere. You're on your website, on your mobile app, on your Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. A good CMS should help you publish content across all the channels. Now, the question that you have to ask yourself is, can I launch one campaign and have it appear on multiple sales channel of mine? So that's another question. Now, the follow up question again is, what is the flexibility to integrate with tools? I had recommended this earlier. I had put up this point earlier. Fashion e commerce runs on many systems, right? Fashion and space, Shopify, Commerce Layer, there'll be a PIM, there'll be product lifestyle management, lot of the other things. Like, I obviously might have an AI personalization engines as well. So your CMS should connect easily with these tools through plugins, through APIs. So the question to ask is, will this CMS work smoothly with the tools that I already use? So that's another question. Now, another thing that you should understand is also with regards to team friendliness as well, right? Like the workflows and stuff. Like, what is the how easy it is to set up, and the total cost of implementation, and how many development resources are required. Like, different teams, say for example marketing, content design, devs need to work together. A good CMS should offer role based access, collaboration features, easy to use interface. So, can my marketing team launch a campaign without needing a developer? Is another question that you can ask. So that is another thing. You should also ask, how good is the ability to grow? I That's a very very important question for you to ask. Like, if your business today might look very different from few years from now, your CMS should support millions of visitors, localization for global markets, more product lines, brands as you expand. Now, that's another question to ask. Will this CMS still work, say, with 10x my company size? So that's another question. Now, another question probably would be like, how affordable would be maintenance and upgrades, right? Like, Don't just look for upfront price. That's one of the most important things that clients do is, oh, it's coming cheaper for me, I look at this. Look at it from a long term perspective. Think about the total cost of ownership over a period of time. This includes development, support, hosting, upgrades. The right CMS should help you grow efficiently, not burn your budget. So another question to ask is the CMS cost effective now and in the long run? So that's another question that you need to ask. So this comes to the end of things. I'm assuming that you would have understood most of it right now. But if you want to understand the ROI, the timeline, when will the fashion brand start delivering returns, and how much is the ROI, you can go through this in detail. Um, Another thing also I would like to emphasize about is what is important. The bottom line on fashion headless CMS, which CMS is better for what. There's a complete list given in this blog. You can have a look at this as well. Uh, Now when you look at this, right, there's a lot of fashion brands using it. This consists of comprises of fashion brands and other brands as well, but obviously fashion brands like say Nike, Adidas, a lot of other brands, right? These actually use headless CMS. And I think some of the stats that I can share with you is 80% of the business that don't have headless architecture today say that they plan to implement it in the next 2 years. 83% of the respondents who have implemented a Jamstack approach say there's a lower total cost of ownership. I've emphasized on total cost of ownership, and I'll still keep emphasizing because that's what most clients look at as well. 86% of the marketers at large enterprise are frustrated with their current CMS. So there is a need to go into another CMS. After 3 years of using headless CMS, there's around 582% ROI, 300% productivity boost, 6 months of payback period. I know after saying all this, I mean, you might have a lot of confusion. You might need expert guidance again. So I know there will be like you're trying to balance visual freedom, performance, SEO, launch speed. So you might not be sure of what fits your brand as well. So we offer 20 hours of developer time, including one-on-one session to help map your need, choose the right headless CMS, set up a scalable content model. And I believe that it is important for you to work with us. The reason why is also because we've actually worked with CMSs for fashion platforms, not just landing pages. We know that it's like managing product drops, seasonal collections, promo driven updates, and a lot of storytelling that sells. We've helped teams go live fast, clean builds that don't fall apart with your next next campaign. Check out our site, book a call, or just explore more content on this channel. You would give you a fair idea about this. But in short, in summary, what I would say is that when you're looking for CMS, please do the right study. Please think about it. There are lots of scenarios that you'll have to think about while choosing a CMS, and we can definitely help you with. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. More videos on the way about headless commerce, visual CMS workflows, and building brand platforms that don't buckle under the growth. Catch you in the next one. Thank you so much.